The arrival of five-star quarterback Dylan Raiola was hyped as the turning point Nebraska had been waiting for, a long overdue resurgence into the college football elite. But the brutal reality of the 2024 season has left fans wondering, was Raiola a savior or just another victim of Nebraska's ongoing dysfunction? The hype that never delivered. From the moment Dylan Raiola committed to Nebraska, expectations skyrocketed. A five-star recruit with a cannon arm and a pedigree that screamed future NFL star, Raiola was seen as the quarterback who could finally bring Nebraska back to national relevance. His arrival was meant to be a sign that the Cornhuskers were done playing second fiddle in the Big Ten. And early on, it looked like the hype was justified. Nebraska started the season 3-0, including a dominant 28-10 win over longtime rival Colorado. Raiola looked poised, confident, and in control. Husker fans were dreaming big. Was this finally the year? The breaking point? Illinois crushed the illusion. Then came the Illinois game, a game that would define Nebraska's season in the worst way possible. It was a back-and-forth battle, and Nebraska had the chance to claim victory in overtime. Instead, disaster struck. Raiola, the supposed golden boy, was sacked on 3 of Nebraska's 4 overtime plays. The final sack ended the game and left Husker fans staring in disbelief. How could a five-star quarterback let this happen? How could a program with so much history and promise crumble when it mattered most? A collapse for the ages. The Illinois loss wasn't an anomaly, it was a warning sign of things to come. Nebraska went from a promising 5-1 start to a humiliating 6-game slide, finishing the regular season with a disastrous 6-6 record. A pinstripe ball win salvaged some dignity, but no one was fooled. This season was a failure, plain and simple. What went wrong? Was it coaching? Was it poor execution? Or was the Nebraska program simply cursed to remain stuck in mediocrity? Matt Rhule's harsh reality. Head coach Matt Rhule inherited a mess, but he was supposed to be the guy to clean it up. Instead, his first real season with a top-tier quarterback exposed just how deep Nebraska's problems run. A 7-6 finish isn't good enough for a program that once dominated college football. Rhule has preached patience, but how much longer can Husker fans wait? Nebraska hasn't been relevant on the national stage in 2 decades. The program is supposed to be on an upward trajectory, yet it continues to fall short when it matters most. Is Dylan Raiola the right guy? The biggest question heading into 2025 isn't about coaching, it's about Raiola himself. Is he the quarterback Nebraska needs? Or is he another overhyped recruit who won't live up to expectations? His freshman season was a roller coaster. At times he looked like a future superstar, delivering pinpoint throws and making plays that left fans believing Nebraska had finally found its savior at quarterback. But those moments of brilliance were overshadowed by inconsistency, turnovers, and crucial mistakes that cost his team dearly. The overtime disaster against Illinois will haunt him for years. That game was supposed to be his breakout moment, a chance to silence the doubters and show the world that he was ready for the big stage. Instead, it became a nightmare. Costly interceptions, poor clock management, and an inability to handle the pressure sealed Nebraska's fate. It was a microcosm of the entire season. So much potential, but not enough execution. The true test will be how he responds next season. Freshmen make mistakes, and growing pains are part of the process. But great quarterbacks learn from those failures and come back stronger. If he doesn't take a massive leap forward, Nebraska will be right back where it started, searching for answers, cycling through quarterbacks, and stuck in a perpetual state of disappointment. The harsh truth about Nebraska football. Here's the bottom line. Nebraska isn't back. It might never be back. For years, the program has been stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, clinging to its past glory while the rest of college football moves forward. The Cornhuskers haven't adapted to the modern game, and the results speak for themselves. Their Big Ten rivals continue to out-recruit, out-develop, and outperform them. The once feared Nebraska brand no longer carries the same weight on the recruiting trail. High school prospects today weren't even alive when the Huskers were dominant. And that's the biggest problem. Nebraska is still trying to win with an outdated blueprint. The power run game that defined their dominance in the 90s doesn't work in today's era of spread offenses and high-flying attacks. They've cycled through coaches, each one promising to bring the program back to relevance, yet each one ultimately failing. Dylan Raiola, savior or another bust? Dylan Raiola was supposed to be the answer. The five-star quarterback was seen as the key to unlocking Nebraska's offense. A generational talent who could lift the Huskers back to national prominence. When he flipped his commitment to Nebraska, fans rejoiced. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the first true sign that Nebraska was on the road to recovery. But now Raiola is just another question mark. Can Nebraska fix its offensive line to protect him? Because if they can't, it won't matter how talented he is. He'll spend more time running for his life than making big-time throws. Can Matt Rhule develop him into an elite quarterback? Because if he can't, Raiola could end up just another highly touted recruit who never reaches his potential.